right, that is The Weekend in the Night, 97.9, 105.5, KISS FM, 740 with Big Papa and Bennett in the morning. Liz in. According to News Channel 2 meteorologist Jill Reel, mostly sunny and warmer today with a high of 32. Right now, we are at 9. It is time for the Slocum-Dickson Medical Moment. And in studio, Adrienne from Slocum-Dickson. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How are the holidays? Everything good there?
Great, yes. Everything's super fun with 2 kids. You know, they're loving it into the Santa Claus and the whole thing.
Awesome. What ages?
4 and 6.
Oh, so
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot
very,
of fun.
very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And welcoming back to the studio, Dr. Edline. Good morning. How are you?
New studio, very nice.
I
here.
know. It's the last time he was in was when we were at the old dig, so he hasn't been to the new building.
Yeah.
Welcome to Canal Park.
It's a little bit of a change.
Yes,
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, pay your rent. You'll do okay.
So, I'm so glad that you guys are in today, considering the fact that I was at Slocum yesterday.
Great plug.
Well, it's honestly it's true, because I have a fantastic. I've always been a Slocum person, and the fact that the convenience is great, and and of course, I'm not feeling well, so I'm having trouble coming up with words. My family practice, Dr. Silveraja and Crystal in their office, and they're just awesome, and the rapport that you become to have with your primary really is important, and everyone that I've ever encountered in there on all the different levels, it really is. It's that personal touch. It really is.
Well, keeping you healthy, and then when you're sick, helping you get healthy.
Yeah.
Is very, very personal, right up there on your list of important things to do with your life. So
absolutely,
we understand that. We have a very close bond with our patients.
And we were talking about it's funny, we were talking about it off the air. Not only are you the president, but you're also a pediatrician, and you're a pediatrician first. But I would imagine that a lot of your day is just debunking myths. What's a magic cure? What's the home remedy? What about, I heard about this. My grandma always used to tell me this. I would imagine that you do a lot of that.
We do, and it gets a nice laugh. But I mean, what we mainly do is watch children's development and making sure they're growing and staying healthy. And then when they're ill, we help them through that. But the internet has been a help and a curse. People come in with lots of ideas, knowledge, and sometimes reams of paper to prove to me about the way life should be.
Right.
But I've been doing this long enough to see that we've come around the circle again to, geez, maybe some of the old things do work best, because some of the newer things just really don't do what they're supposed to do. I'll give you a good example.
Okay.
Cough medicine.
Right.
All right. We were all raised on cough medicine. I'm sure your parents gave it to you.
Absolutely.
I had it, and you relied on that cough medicine. And
again, another thing that's supposed to help you feel better but tastes awful. That's what I've been encountering all day today.
Well, as my mother said, if it didn't taste good, it wouldn't work.
That's right. That just shows it's working.
Yeah.
Shows it's working. Thanks, Grandma B. Yeah.
But when we look back a few years ago to see what was studied with cough medicine, there weren't very many good studies, and we didn't really have any good proof. And if you've noticed, there are a lot of ads that you used to see on TV about cough medicine, especially in children, aren't there anymore, because it's been very limited in what it can do. The whole other argument is, well, why is a cough bad? Maybe a cough is good. Your body is trying to kick out the germs and the garbage that you get when you're sick. So maybe you should be coughing, and maybe we shouldn't suppress it. But then if you're a parent and your kids are coughing at 2 a.m, the parents want the cough medicine.
Right.
They want it to work. They want it to work now, and that sometimes doesn't help. So I've been telling my patients and my parents, maybe it's good to go back to the old ways. I was hearing out in the lobbies, people were talking about mentholatum and Vicks. That's from the old days. That's had a resurgence.
I always heard that putting Vicks Vapor Rub on the bottom of your feet and putting socks on. Is that true?
That I never heard of till I got here.
Are you serious?
I've never heard that.
I've heard that.
Is that for a cold or for like dry skin?
No, it's to help you like clear things out. You rub. That's what I heard, and you can debunk this right now. And apparently, there's nothing to it. But you put Vicks Vapor Rub on the bottom of your foot. And you put tube socks on.
Correct.
And go to sleep with it like that. And that's what I heard.
And you know what? Can I debunk it or bunk it? I don't know. There's been no studies done. It's not going to hurt anything, and if it helps you, then do it.
Cool.
But I think, when we talk about colds and viruses and illnesses, we have to remember most of these things are caused by viruses. They do their own thing. They're out there. They're spread easily by other humans. They love to be worse in the winter because we're closer together in the winter. We're not outside playing. So we come into our offices, we're sneezing and coughing, and the person next to you gets it very easily. Children in school, just a cesspool of germs.
Oh, yeah.
No way you can describe it any differently. But we're going to get our viruses, and we're going to get sick from them. And most colds and viruses last 7 to 10 days from start to finish. There could be a fever component in there for the first few days. You feel awful. The cough is there. And then in about, 8, 9, 10th day of the illness, you start to feel better. So I caution parents about, we'll get through the cold, we'll get through the virus. It can have a sore throat and some fever, but we have to look at how well the child's doing and how long it really lasts.
So let me ask you this, and I'm sorry to interrupt. When is the good time to be like, okay, we should go to the doctor now? Like when is that Mendoza line where
right.
you just you do the home remedies, you do the cough medicine and the Mucinex and the Tylenol and just do it that way. When's that Mendoza line where, I really should call a doctor?
Yeah, I have some facts that we can follow, but a lot of it will just be subjective to what the parents are worried about. And a lot of it's based on the infant's or the child's age. So a 12-year-old with 101, we can get through and watch for a few days. A 6-week-old with 101, that has to be checked right now.
Right.
Okay. Now, in the school-age child, if things are going around and the notes are sent home from school, we have coughing and sneezing in the classroom, and then your child starts coughing and sneezing, it'll probably run the same course that everybody else has. But the warning signs along the way would be pain, so pain when we cough on our chest,
right.
Fever that won't come down or lasts more than 2 or 3 days, or your child is just lethargic, not eating, drinking, not the same, just things aren't going right. Call your doctor and get checked out.
Okay. And a lot of times colds and they lead into like different infections, like viral infections and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's where like the differences kind of lie, right?
Right. Well, that's what I was getting to. If you've had your cold for the 10-day period and you're not getting better, that's probably not a cold virus anymore. You might be secondarily infected with a bacteria, which are larger, usually more dangerous germs. Strep throat is a bacteria. Some ear infections are bacteria. Pneumonia can be bacteria. The problem is, in the first few days of the illness, you can't tell by looking or even testing whether it's a virus or a bacteria. But bacteria tend to hang around longer. We have antibiotics for bacteria, not for viruses.
Right. Because the virus just has to, go its course, and then that's it,
yeah,
right?
And what happens is that your immune system learns about the virus, makes antibodies, and starts to get them to a level that's high enough to try to neutralize it about the 7th to 8th day.
Okay.
So that's why you start feeling better then. With bacterial infections, there's usually some kind of pus associated with it, whether it's under your skin,
right.
in the back of your throat, or in your lung, which is what pneumonia is.
Okay.
And those are more dangerous.
All right. Again, we're talking to Dr. Edline and Adrian from Slocum-Dickson Medical Group. Slocum-Dickson Medical Moments, and of course, SDMG.com is the website. 798-1500, and of course, they're located on Burstone Road. Adrian, as far as primaries, do you still have primaries that are accepting new patients,
yes,
correct?
we do. And our website will tell you all the primaries that are accepting new patients. We have a newer physician, Dr. Rezik, who just joined. He's actually local. He grew up here in New Hartford, went to Utica College, and he's still taking new patients. And I think now's a good time of year if you don't have a primary care to really think about that. We have a great urgent care, but please don't use that as your primary care. I've been, guilty of doing that. It's not a good idea. So, get a primary care doctor who can really become familiar familiar with you, and then when you have something like a cold or something, you can just call them, and it's a lot easier, and you get better care that way.
And also, it's a lot easier to start that, when you go see your primary for the first time, it's always better to see them when you're not sick.
Right. Right.
That way they kind of have an idea of what you're like normally, so when you show up and you feel like crap, they're like, oh yeah, you don't look good.
Yeah, right. But are able to answer the thousands of questions they're going to ask you too.
Absolutely. Flu shots, yes?
Yep, flu shot season's still going on. Dr. Edline, they're still giving them out in pediatrics as well.
Flu is not officially here yet. We test at Slocum-Dickson. We test at the ER. We've had a couple of cases, but not the main drive is not here yet. Still time to get flu shots. We still highly recommend it. Flu is a killer, especially for the very young and very old. The flu shot has been working very well this year already in areas that have had the flu, so it's a good year to get it as usual.
Wonderful. Make sure you like them on Facebook, and of course all the details, SDMG, Slocum-Dickson Medical Group, SDMG.com, 798-1500. Dr. Adrian, guys, thank you so much. We definitely appreciate it.
It was fun. I like your new place.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to break, come back as Big Papa Band in the morning on KISS FM.